Jai Hind everyone. I'm Shraddha Jari, Assistant Professor, IT Department from AKGEC Ghaziabad. Today I'm going to discuss the topic functions from the subject Programming for Problem Solving, which is taught in first year. So today I'm going to cover the topic functions with its introduction and types of function with some examples. So introduction. What are functions? Functions are nothing but it is a self-contained block of code, also known as a program, that performs some specific task, or we can say well-defined task. A large program in C can be divided into many subprograms, and these subprograms are nothing but the functions. Or we can say that functions are nothing but these are the set of codes, a small part of code, a group of code which accepts input from the user, performs some computational task, and then result is generated by the function. Now, why we need functions? In a programming language, sometimes scenario occurs that certain set of code will be required multiple times in the program. We require same code at multiple places in the program, in a single program. So it is quite difficult and will create redundancy also if we write same code again and again. So to avoid writing the code again and again, we divide the program into some small parts and name those parts, which are nothing but the functions. So whenever those duplicacy is required, or we want to access same code again and again at any place, then nothing, we do not have to write any of the code, we just call the function. So function helps us in reducing code redundancy, and rather of writing the same code again and again, we can call the functions at multiple places wherever required. Now, classification of functions. How functions are classified? Functions are classified on two bases. First is the who developed the function, and second is the number of arguments and the return value. So who developed the function? There are again two types, that is library function and user defined functions. And for the number of arguments and return value, we have function with arguments with return value, function without arguments with return value, functions with argument and without return value, functions without argument and without return value. So one by one we are going to discuss these categories. So first we have library functions. What are library functions? As I earlier told you, these are the system defined functions. User need not to write any of the code while using these functions. These functions are already present within the system library. So these are known as predefined functions, and the code is being present with the header files. So whenever we want to access any of these library functions, we just include that particular header file in our program. So for example, if I want to use printf and scanf, then I will include stdio.h. If clear screen and getch is a function I want to use, I can include conio.h. Similarly, for power function and square root function, math.h is responsible. And for various string related commands, string related functions, I have string.h. So whenever I want to use the string related functions, I will include string.h. Next category is the user defined functions. So what are user defined functions? Functions which are being defined by the user. So in this particular case, programmer will create their own function for performing any specific task. And as programmer, as user is writing the code for the performing of the function, these are known as user defined functions, because the definition is being provided by the user, not by the system. So user defined function contains three elements, that is function declaration, function definition and function call. Now one by one we are going to discuss these elements. First is the function declaration. What is function declaration? As we know that whenever we write a program, we need to declare certain variables within our program so that compiler may allocate the memory to the data, or we can say that compiler may know that what kind of data we are taking as input in the program. So for that purpose, declaration of variables are required so that our data set can be stored within those variables and we can access easily that data. In the similar way, functions also declared by the user. The compiler must have the information what kind of values or what kind of calls is function performing. For that purpose, declaration of function is required. And functions are declared in the same manner as we are declaring the variables. That is, it must have return type, function name and parameter list. Parameter list is optional. We can provide parameter list as well as we can skip parameter list. As we can see in the syntax, here we have return type, function name and the parameter list. Example, int sum int comma int, which means the return type which is I provided here is the integer. The name of the function is sum and parameters or the variables which are being used within the function are of type integer, and two parameters will be used in the function definition and both are of type integer. So next we have function definition. So function definition is nothing but the code written by the programmer or the computational task which is being performed by the function. It consists of whole description and the code of a function that is going to be executed. It consists of two parts, function header and function body. Function header is nothing but the name of the function, and within the curly brackets we write the body of the function. As we can see in the syntax, return type, function name and parameter list. So return type, as we have taken the example, int sum, int is the return type, sum is the function name, int a comma int b. So I have taken two parameters, integer type a and integer type b. And what is the body of the function? I have written these statements. For addition of two numbers a and b, and result is being stored in s. And what has been returned? Return s. So this s will be returned to the main function or the place from where the function has been called. Next is the function call, from where we will call the function and where the value will return. So to use a function, we will have to call that particular function, because we are writing the code in small subsections and the compiler will only execute the main function of the program. So within main function we have to call that particular function so that whatever function is defined by the user must be executed. So a function is called by its name, followed by arguments inside parenthesis and then followed by semicolon. So whenever a program calls a function, program control is transferred to that particular function. For syntax is the function name and parameter list. Example, as we have discussed in the previous slide, we have created one function sum. So how we are going to call it? We are going to call it as sum and within bracket the parameters. Number of arguments which are being declared are 2. So here must be 2 parameters which are being present at the time of calling. And whatever value which is being returned by the sum is going to be stored in C. Now calling function. Now whenever we talk about the function call, there are two things which come in our mind. Who is calling and who is called. So one is calling function, that is who is calling. It is the function that calls another function. So parameters passed in the calling functions to the another function are known as actual parameters. Okay? Just as in previous slide, here x and y both are actual parameters. And second category is the called function. The function which is being called by the other function is known as called function. So the parameters received by the called function from the calling functions are known as formal parameters. So there are two kinds of parameters, actual parameters and formal parameters. Actual parameters are those parameters which are being provided at the time of calling, and formal parameters are those parameters which are being received by the called function. So with the help of example, we are going to discuss these things. Next, we have the return statement, the third segment of the function. First was the function declaration, then the function definition, and third is the return types. So the return statement is used for immediate exit from the called function to the calling function. It also return value to the calling function. So there are two ways. One is simply write return and second is return and within parenthesis write the expression. So whenever we want to immediate exit from the function definition, function calling, then we write the return statement. So as soon as return statement is executed, the calling function will return value to the called function. Now, first example we are going to discuss is the addition of two numbers with the help of functions. So, here I have taken a function int add and int. This is nothing but the function declaration, or you can say function prototype. Function declaration, as we discussed, return type, function name and two parameters are there. Number of parameters are user dependent, either one parameter, two parameter, or as many parameters as user want, he can write here or he can skip also. So here I have taken a parameterized function which is having two parameters and both are of type integer. Semicolon is written after the function declaration. As we are only declaring the function, we will put a semicolon, which is very important. Next, within the main function, I have taken three variables a, b and s. A and b are used to take input. As we are going to create a program for addition of two numbers. So, for that purpose, I require two numbers as input and one to store the result. So, A and B are responsible for the input value and S will have the addition of two numbers A and B. So, with the help of printf statement, two numbers are being entered and using scanf command, I have taken input from the user A and B. Now, S is equals to add AB. This particular statement is nothing but function call. And as soon as this particular statement will be executed, the control will go or transfer to the function definition. This is function definition. So, what is the function definition? It will contain the function header and function body. Function header is nothing but the return type, function name and the parameter list. And this is the function body. So, what is function body is containing? Int z and z is equals to x plus y and return z. As soon as return z will occur, the control will be transferred back to the main function. Now, value which is being returned by the addition function will be stored in S. And print statement will print the sum. Second thing is the actual parameter and the formal parameters. So, actual parameters are the parameters which are present at the time of function call. So, at the time of function call, A and B are present here. So, A and B are the actual parameters and the parameters which are being received by the called function. Called function is add. And parameters received are x and y. So, x and y are formal parameters. So, A and B are actual parameters and x and y are formal parameters. Clear? So, this is the function declaration, this is function call and this is function definition. Now, we move on to the second example. Second example is to find the largest of three numbers So for this, as we are performing the program to find largest of three numbers, so for this we require three numbers as an input. So see, here in the function declaration I have taken three parameters and all are of type integer, which means we can take as many parameters as we want in our function. There is no limit provided by the programming language for the number of parameters which are being written within the function declaration or definition. So after declaring the function, and the name of the function is largest, three parameters are passed and all are of type int. As this is function declaration, we will put a semicolon. We will terminate the declaration. Now within the main function, I have taken the three numbers a, b, c and max to store the maximum number. Now from the user, I have taken input a, b and c. And all these three numbers are being passed as actual parameter in the function largest. So this is nothing but this is the function call. And what is being passed here? Three actual parameters named as a, b and c. And as soon as this statement is executed, control will go to the function definition. And in function definition, here x, y, z are formal parameters, because these are the parameters which are being received by the called function. Okay. Now x will have the value which is being stored in a, y will have the value which is being stored in b, and z is having the value which is being stored in c. So in the same order, values are being transmitted in which they are being written here. Now what is the function definition saying? As we are going to find out the largest of three numbers, so here condition is written: if x is greater than y and x is greater than z, return x as x is greatest. Else if y is greater than z, return y, else return z. So whatever condition is true, same value will be returned. If return x is going to be executed, this function definition will terminate here and control will return back to main function. If return x, that is if condition will fail and else if condition will be executed, it means return y will execute. And as soon as return y will execute, the control will come back to the max. Means as soon as return statement will be executed, the function definition will immediately stop and control will come back to the main function or the called function. Next, after getting the value in max, largest value will be printed. See, this is function declaration, function call and function definition. We will consider one more example, that is factorial of a given number. We have calculated the factorial of a number in a simple way by simply writing the loop and executing the program. Now we are going to discuss the same program with the help of a function. How factorial of a number can be calculated using function. So any program can be written in the form of function. So here I have taken the function factorial. Only one parameter is passed here and whose data type is int. Within the main, I have taken an input number n from the user, and that input n is being passed as actual parameter in the function call. So in function call, it is written fact equal to factorial and n. N is what? It is the number whose factorial has to be calculated and which is being passed as the actual parameter within this particular statement. So as soon as this factorial n will be executed, control will go back to the function definition. And function definition, here we have n, which is the number whose factorial has to be calculated. So int I f equal to 1, and for I equal to 1 less than n, I plus plus f equal to f into I. That is the logic for factorial. So factorial of a number will be calculated and return f. As soon as f is returned, control will come back to the main function. and after that factorial of a number has been printed by the user, which is being stored in fact. So again you can see this is function declaration, which is having only one parameter, a function call and the function definition. So we summarize today's topic that what we have discussed what is function, why we need function, what are the basic components of function, and components of function basically contains function declaration, function call and function definition. And what are the types of parameters? Actual parameters and formal parameters. Actual parameters are the parameters which are being passed during the function call, and formal parameters are the parameters which are received by the called function. So in this example also, here this n is the actual parameter and this n is the formal parameter. So I hope the topic is clear. The remaining section, that is the second category of the functions, will be covered in the next lecture. So these are the references. Thank you.